Hi, I'm Liz, the co-founder and chief creative officer of Weezie. Welcome to my house in Savannah, Georgia. Come on in. Okay, we are here in our formal living room. This is right off of the entry. The curtains are by Thomas Callaway, and they were kind of the starting point for the room. Beautiful, geometric, kind of fresh feeling to them, but in this sage green that's very calming, and it's been fun to pair those with more traditional fabrics. So we have this Lee Joffa on the chairs, which I've always loved, and I love the juxtaposition of those two together. We have a Schumacher fabric on the pillows that has an embroidered element, and then I've always loved these lamps from Visual Comfort. They're just such a striking piece. They're huge, and it feels like a beautiful piece of pottery. We knew we wanted to keep the walls neutral because I love collecting art. A lot of the art in here I did myself. This huge floral piece was the first thing I bought for the house at a local antique store here called Clutter. And I cannot forget, we call this the spilled martini room. I'm obsessed with this and my husband hates it, but I think it's so fun and we keep it out in the house. And so it is the spilled martini room. Perfect for our shaken and stirred embroidery on these cocktail napkins, which has been so much fun. Okay, we are now here in the dining room, which is right off of the entry. I knew was that I wanted to color drench this room, and this is Benjamin Moore Granada Villa. From there, we went on to the curtains. These are a Schumacher, and just loved the graphic element and bringing in some blue and how painterly they felt. And then we had so much fun with the art in here. So Robin found these at a gallery in Birmingham, and they're actually marker. And I love how it seems like they are our dinner party guests. Here we are all set up for a dinner party. We have our new Weezie tabletop line. We have our white scallop dinner napkins, one set that says Bon Appetit in a fun marigold thread. And then we have another one that's just a little bit more classic with white thread on the white napkin that just says EE in our river font, which I love. From the dining room, you come into our bar area, and this is such a fun space, similar to a powder bath, where you can really go for it and do something a little bit riskier or that you're maybe a little bit more intimidated by, and black was that for me. So we painted the whole thing black, ceiling included, and then Robin found this wallpaper that I immediately fell in love with. I love a block print flower. It's from Studio 4 NYC, and it paired really nicely with the black because it really kind of softened it and is a little bit more playful. Another Visual Comfort light that we love, and then another ode to New York here. It's the Brooklyn Bridge, and I just love these little sprinkles of New York throughout the house. Reminds us of our time there and how we go back every year to celebrate the holiday with our girls. When you come through the bar, you come into our kitchen, which is an open area that spills into the family room. We made some slight updates to the kitchen. I was very over the open shelving, so we covered it up with one of my favorite Penny Morrison fabrics. I found this vintage light on Etsy, and I loved the way that it felt a little bit more masculine, and I felt like that's what we were needing in the room. And then this piece of the birds is a Raven Roxanne, and I picked it out as a push present after my first daughter Tempe was born. Right off of the kitchen, a pantry, which we were in desperate need of. And my favorite element is probably this Meredith Ellis Deacon's vine, which is the pattern on our robe this year. So the number one request that I had from the beginning of our renovation was 2 matching patterned couches. We covered them in this beautiful Sister Parish performance fabric. I feel like we can really live in them and not be worried about them getting ruined. And then we did the swivel chairs from Coley Home, which we love. I love Coley Home as a brand, and I was so excited to get a few of their pieces. And then I'm obsessed with family photos, and this has really become the place that I display all of them, our portraits and our Christmas cards and candids and formal pictures and casual pictures. I just love having this huge collection that continues to grow right here. This ottoman in the middle of the family room is one of my favorite pieces that Jenny thought up. She covered it in this Lisa Fine performance fabric. We have dance parties on this. The girls put on performances. It's just a great piece that we use all the time in the family room. So right off of the family room, we have our laundry room, mudroom, and this is part of the new renovation. This scheme really started with this Zack and Fox clover wallpaper. It also inspired a recent robe. I just love it. And seeing it on spaces this big and being able to really see the movement of the repeat is just so satisfying. I love it. And we did cabinets with Kingdom Woodwork. So happy with how they turned out. And this sink was the original sink in the 1900s structure, and I really fought to keep this, but I really think it was worth it, and I love that it's a part of the history of the home. Another favorite textile designer, Carolina Irving. This is one of her fabrics. The black and white marble floor was something that I've wanted for forever, and we put in this bench with baskets below for a dumping ground. It is not always quite this clean, but it has just made our house so functional yet so beautiful at the same time. It's really a space that we use a ton but love equally as much. Now we are in the office. Because it was such a small space, I was really excited to make it bold and colorful and indulge my wallpaper obsession. So we started with this wallpaper from Claremont. I love this warm yellow in here and the floral elements and the little rabbit motifs hiding in there. And then Jenny paired it with this Faro and Ball cooking apple green. I was looking for a good spot in the house to do little pops of red. So the seat cushion is a Pierre Frey that pulls all of these colors together. It was the perfect addition. And the window shade and the seat cushion were all made by Hugo Interiors, which is Jenny's family business. The light is by Visual Comfort. It's such a small space, but it packs a lot of punch. And I love this being my Zoom background. I work from home a lot, and it just makes me so happy. So the biggest part of our renovation was renovating the historic carriage house, which was from the 1900s, and it sat on dirt and was the original structure. And the thing that led the design in this room was the painted wood floors. So we decided to do a mix of water so that the wood grain would still show through. And I just am so happy with the way that they turned out. Our cabinets were done by Kingdom Woodworks out of Atlanta, actually. This light from Visual Comfort is one that Jenny picked out, and I love it hanging right above the tub. And in our old setup of our house, I did not have a bath. So getting this big bath was a huge priority. We really built the bathroom around it. So as you make your way upstairs, this is the little girl zone. And we color drenched the room in this pink, I believe it's melted ice cream from Benjamin Moore. And then we flanked the room with these bamboo beds. These were actually such a good find from World Market. And then the window shades are this really sweet floral from Schumacher. We put a scallop on the end. And then we wanted to juxtapose that really sweet floral with a block print, more of a geometric element. And this is another former Weezie partner. It's Molly Marn. And of course we have Weezie's new nursery pillows in here. Annie Rowe got the Liberty applique and Edie got the Swan. They absolutely love these and they sleep with them every night. I actually worked on the bathroom with Jenny way after the fact, but we knew we wanted it to play off of the sweet pink bedroom. We wallpapered in another Molly Marn wallpaper, and we did an Autoline fabric on the window, a little cafe curtain, which I have always loved this fabric. And then a Fleur mirror, and it has been such a great place to showcase all of our little girl Weezie items. We have our pink heart scallop towels in here on the hand towel and the bath towel, and we did the soft white applique. I did TEA, which stands for all of them, Tempe, Edie, and Annie Rowe. All right, that's a wrap. Thank y'all so much for coming. It's officially towel time, right?
Yeah.
Bye. You say bye?
Bye.